To go next after this.
That's what always happens to me. I've done a lot of these kind of guitar pull things, and you always end up, I get fucked every
But Steve, I mean, as a songwriter whose music has over the years drawn from a lot of the same wells of American music as Doc Watson's, how big a shadow does he cast in that part of the music world?
Well, huge for everybody, but for me it's particularly large because I met Townes Van Zandt when I was 17 years old. And so I followed Townes around Texas for a while, and then finally to Tennessee, which he didn't really live there, he didn't live anywhere. But he was on a record label called Poppy Records at the time. And I'd been listening to Doc Watson. I came up in coffee houses, so I don't really, I barely remember, not knowing who Doc Watson was, maybe not at all. I kind of always knew about him. But I got to Nashville during that period when Doc was coming to Nashville to record those records, and it was him and Earle and T. Michael Coleman, and I saw them play, and I was around when 4 Days in November was being made, and I just happened to get there. Because of, it was not just the record label, but John Lomax, who later on became my first manager, John's, grandfather was the John Lomax, the folk song collector. His uncle was Alan Lomax, and he had grown up in Houston. His father had run the Houston Folklore Society. I saw Mass Lipscomb and Lightning Hopkins in the same room at the same time on more than one occasion because I got to Houston at the time. And then I went from there to Nashville, and I was following all these Houston people that had this direct connection to Doc at the time. So I got to see it really, really up close. And Townes Van Zandt was the biggest Doc Watson fan in the world. His whole guitar style is sort of based on flat picking thing he did came mainly from, it comes from Doc's guitar playing, but to some extent, because some of Doc's guitar thing comes from Clarence Ashley's banjo playing, and that version of the cuckoo Townes used to do. So it was a really big deal for me. And Townes, Doc, those records are missing there. You can't get those records, those Poppy records, and that includes Doc's version of If I Needed You, Townes' song, which Townes literally cried when he heard Doc's version. I mean, he wasn't there, he was in Colorado or someplace when Doc actually recorded it. When he actually heard it played back, he burst into tears. But it's a big deal for me. And I got to play Merle Fest. I got invited every year until I got banned. And just for, ostensibly for saying fuck too much, but I think politics had something to do with it too. It's hosted by a Bible college, and it was the college itself that said I couldn't come anymore. Doc was bummed because, he didn't really put it together, and he saw me and Justin play together one time when Justin was about probably 16. He came with me, and Guy Clark and I were doing what they call a workshop, which is just them getting an extra gig out of you at a folk festival. And it was, Justin got up, and I think it was only a handful of times that we actually played together on stage. And we did Make Me Down a Pal on Your Floor. And from that point on, Doc was fascinated with that idea and always wanted me and Justin to come back and play, because the festival was created in Merle's honor, and I got to see that thing, the three of them. And I also stole a line from Doc, a crowd control line that I use to this day. When somebody would yell out, or when he was talking, or in inappropriate places, yeah, buddy, I remember my first beer too.
So you mentioned Make Me a Palette, which I want to save because that's going to be our grand finale.
Right. And that's what I did on the record, actually, because it just seemed sort of, I played that song for years. I played a Merle Trout song called Natural Born Gambling Man that I learned from a Doc Watson record for years.
Well, where does the train that carries my girl from town, where does that song come from?
What record is it on? It's on, he recorded it before the Poppy records, I know that much, because you can still find it, and you can find it online. it's the train that carried through town. It's another blues song, like, you know, maybe down the California, Florida, you got, you know, from Mississippi John Hurt. That's what the version. But train that carried through town shares some lines with a lot of other songs, some Robert Johnson songs, some other blues songs. But Doc's recording is way faster than I'm gonna play because it's a pretty much the closest thing to a real bluegrass recording that he made at that point. It's a full band, and I think Merle plays banjo on it, and he plays drop thumb style, which actually worked. You know, the first